Dear students, greetings for the day. Today we will discuss about computers part 2. Computers are such an integral part of our everyday life now. Most people take them and what they have added to life totally for granted. Even more so the generation who have grown from infancy within the global desktop and laptop revolution since the 1980s. The history of the computer goes back several decades, however, and there are 5 definable generations of computers. Each generation is defined by a significant technological development that changes fundamentally how computers operate, leading to more compact, less expensive, but more powerful, efficient and robust machines. These early computers used vacuum tubes as circuitry and magnetic drums for memory. As a result, they were enormous, literally taking up entire rooms and costing a fortune to run. These were inefficient materials which generated a lot of heat, sucked huge electricity and subsequently generated a lot of heat which caused ongoing breakdowns. These first-generation computers relied on machine language, which is the most basic programming language that can be understood by computers. These computers were limited to solving one problem at a time. Input was based on punched cards and paper tape. Output came out on printouts. The 2 notable machines of this era were the UNIVAC and ENIAC machines. The UNIVAC is the first ever commercial computer which was purchased in 1951 by a business, the U.S. Census Bureau. Advantages of the first generation of the computer was very fast to calculate. The vacuum tube technology made possible the advent of electronic computers. Those days this was the only electronic. Disadvantages of the first generation of the computer: the first generation of computer is not portable. It is not reliable devices. An air condition is required. The replacement of vacuum tubes by transistors saw the advent of the second generation of computing. Although first invented in 1947, transistors weren't used significantly in computers until the end of the 1950s. They were a big improvement over the vacuum tube, despite still subjecting computers to damaging levels of heat. However, they were hugely superior to the vacuum tubes, making computers smaller, faster, cheaper and less heavy on electricity use. They still relied on punched card for input, printouts. The language evolved from cryptic binary language to symbolic, assembly, languages. This meant programmers could create instructions in words. About the same time high-level programming languages were being developed, early versions of COBOL and Fortran. Transistor-driven machines were the first computers to store instructions into their memories, moving from magnetic drum to magnetic core technology. The early versions of these machines were developed for the atomic energy industry. Advantages of the second generation of the computer: more reliable than the first generation. Good speed and can calculate the data in the microseconds. Also used assembly languages. Smaller in the size as compared to the first generation. Use less amount of energy. Portable accuracy is improved than its predecessor. Disadvantages of the second generation of the computer: constant maintenance is required to work properly. Commercial production was very difficult. Still punched cards were used for input. The cooling system is required. More expensive and non-versatile. Used for specific purposes. By this phase, transistors were now being miniaturized and put on silicon chips, called semiconductors. This led to a massive increase in speed and efficiency of these machines. These were the first computers where users interacted using keyboards and monitors which interfaced with an operating system, a significant leap up from the punch cards and printouts. This enabled these machines to run several applications at once using a central program which functioned to monitor memory. As a result of these advances, which again made machines cheaper and smaller, a new mass market of users emerged during the 60s. Advantages of the third generation of the computer: more portable, consume less energy, maintenance cost is low than its predecessor. Disadvantages of the third generation of the computer: highly sophisticated production was cheaper and easier. This revolution can be summed in one word: Intel. The chip maker developed the Intel 4004 chip in 1971, which positioned all computer components, CPU, memory, input, output controls, onto a single chip. What filled a room in the 1940s now fit in the palm of the hand. The Intel chip housed thousands of integrated circuits. The year 1981 saw the first ever computer, IBM, specifically designed for home use, and 1984 saw the Macintosh introduced by Apple. Microprocessors even moved beyond the realm of computers and into an increasing number of everyday products. The increased power of these small computers meant they could be linked, creating networks, which ultimately led to the development, birth and rapid evolution of the Internet. Other major advances during this period have been the graphical user interface, GUI, the mouse, and more recently the astounding advances in laptop capability and handheld devices. Advantages of the fourth generation of the computer: the air conditioner is not required. Totally used for general purposes. Small and compact in size. Heat generated is negligible, which is good. Faster than its predecessor. Disadvantages of the fourth generation of the computer: highly sophisticated technology is used for the manufacture of LSI chips. Computer devices with artificial intelligence are still in development, but some of these technologies are beginning to emerge and be used, such as voice recognition. AI is a reality made possible by using parallel processing and superconductors. Leaning to the future, computers will be radically transformed again by quantum computation, molecular and nanotechnology. The essence of fifth generation will be using these technologies to ultimately create machines which can process and respond to natural language, and have capability to learn and organize themselves. Advantages of the fifth generation of the computer: more reliable and faster than its predecessor. Easily available in different sizes with unique and different features. Disadvantages of the fifth generation of the computer: disadvantages of the fifth generation of the computer have yet to be agreed upon. Personal computer: a PC can be defined as a small, relatively inexpensive computer designed for an individual user. PCs are based on the microprocessor technology that enables manufacturers to put an entire CPU on one chip. Businesses use personal computers for word processing, accounting, desktop publishing, and for running spreadsheet and database management applications. At home, the most popular use for personal computers is playing games and surfing the Internet. Although personal computers are designed as single-user systems, these systems are normally linked together to form a network. In terms of power, nowadays high-end models of the Macintosh and PC offer the same computing power and graphics capability as low-end workstations by Sun Microsystems, Hewlett-Packard, and Dell. Workstation. Workstation is a computer used for engineering applications, CAD/CAM, desktop publishing, software development, and other such types of applications which require a moderate amount of computing power and relatively high-quality graphics capabilities. Workstations generally come with large, high-resolution graphics screen, large amount of RAM, inbuilt network support, and a graphical user interface. Most workstations also have mass storage device such as a disk drive, but a special type of workstation, called diskless workstation, comes without a disk drive. Common operating systems for workstations are Unix and Windows NT. Like PC, workstations are also single-user computers like PC but are typically linked together to form a local area network, although they can also be used as standalone systems. Mini computer. It is a mid-size multi-processing system capable of supporting up to 250 users simultaneously. Mainframe. Mainframe is very large in size and is an expensive computer capable of supporting hundreds or even thousands of users simultaneously. Mainframe executes many programs concurrently and supports many simultaneous execution of programs. Supercomputer. Supercomputers are one of the fastest computers currently available. Supercomputers are very expensive and are employed for specialized applications that require immense amount of mathematical calculations, number crunching,